All right, students, this is the Unit 1, Lesson A homework help video. You should only be going to this video after you have put a solid 20 minutes at least of individual effort in attempting to get the homework done. Do not immediately default this. It's important you put in effort. If you don't know what to do on your own, you should be working yourself down this page. For example, number 1, did you finger track and read the problem out loud? Did you underline and highlight key words, etc.? Work yourself down this list on your own. Only after you've exhausted all your own efforts should you be working with this video. Taking a look at this first problem, it says examine triangle ABC and translate the image. Write out the location of C and prime C. Now remember, translate means to slide. So you ask yourself, how has C slid? Sled. Past tense of slide. Sled, I think. Let's try that again. So you write this coordinate down of C right here. And now we're going to ask ourselves how these C coordinates have changed from here to here. We should have -1 here and 4, and it moved to 6, 1. So there's two things you want to ask yourselves. How did the horizontal component move? What is the difference there? Did we go up or down? And then what was the vertical rule? Again, did we go up or down, positive or negative? So you define what the rule is for both of those. You can also do this mechanically, horizontal and vertical. And find the other two coordinates here, but I want to know what the rule is and find those new two coordinates. Number 2, it says take the following triangle and rotate counterclockwise. Very important. I suggest you actually physically draw the arrow here, just a sweeping kind of a direction. Counterclockwise means you're going to take this triangle and you're going to go this way. And to do that, you look at this reference card, and we see that to rotate 90 counterclockwise, you switch and flip to the left. So let's take one coordinate here. We'll call it A. Get that coordinate. It is +2, -1. And then we want sub A. Remember, it's a switch and flip. Switch and flip. And in this case, it's going to be a flip on the leftward side. So step 1 is you switch the orders. So we do -1, +2. Then draw the counterclockwise arrow to the left and flip the signs. There's your new coordinate. Do the same with all 3 coordinates and regraph this. Glide reflection. A glide reflection is a reflection that combines. Means you're doing 2 things, 2 motions. You're going to combine both a reflection and a translation. So you're going to be flipping and sliding. You're going to flip and slide along the direction of a single line. Glide reflections are the only type of symmetry that involves more than one step. So for example, this R here, first it's reflected over the, like an x-axis, it's reflected, that's reflection. And then we slid, that's translation. So here's your original R, and then there's your final product R. That's called a glide reflection. A glide reflection. So taking a look here, it says we're going to reflect each point over the y-axis. So we're going to reflect over the y-axis and then translate by 3 units up. Translate by 3 units up. Reflect over the y-axis and translate 3 units up. Now to reflect over the y, let's get our rules out. If we have an xy coordinate and we want to reflect over the y, the rule was to opposite the x coordinate. That's the rule. That's going to reflect over the y. And then if we want to do 3 units up, technically that's along the y-axis. So we take our xy coordinate, 3 units up, that's a vertical motion, so we're going to add v, so our final product is going to be x plus y plus that vertical motion, which is 3 units up. That is our translation. So let's try just point P, those two things. Point P. Let's get our coordinates of point P first. P is at, now watch, there are double units here. P is at 8, -8, and -8. So if I want to reflect over the y, I opposite the x. So that's my first thing I take, and I opposite the x. I'm going to end up with +8. And then to translate 3 units up, I take my y coordinate because it's vertical, and I'm going to add 3 units. So -8 plus 3 is -5. That's my first glide reflection. I'm going to plot that point. +8, -5. +8, negative, that's 4, that's 6, so -5 is right here. That's my first P prime. We're going to follow that same process for Q and then R and get a complete second triangle. Then take the second triangle and go through the same glide reflection and get a third triangle and graph it. It says on the graph below, line J, we're going to graph line J with the equation 3x minus 4y equals 12 using intercepts. Remember to use intercepts. If we put a 0 in the x, we say goodbye to the x, and you get a value for y. Or, to get the y, we put a 0 in the y, and you go like that, and you get the value for x. Plot those 2 points and graph your line. Also, I'd like you to do as well, changing it to y equals mx plus b form. So we're going to do 3x minus 4y equals 12. Your goal is to get y by itself. So we're going to minus 3x, get -4y equals -3x plus 12. Continue solving for y, so you end up with y equals something. Those intercepts and that line should match. I want you to write the y equals mx plus b form right here. Then it says, using the y-intercept point as your guide, that means you take this point here, the y-intercept point, which is this point right here, that coordinate. It's also, when you do y equals mx plus b, it's also your b, which is the same thing. Take that point, and I'd like you to take that point and shift it 2 units up and 4 units to the left. And then I'd like you to graph the second line. You're translating, so it should look exactly like L. Remember, translate means to slide, but have the same shape. So it should, your K should look like line J, but it's going to be in a different place. I'd like you to write that equation for the new one. Now, write something about how line J and K are related to each other. How are they the same? How are they different? Then answer these two questions. And this last question. Number 5 says finger track and read out loud. It says we're going to trace AB in one color, BC in another color, and bracket AC in a third color. The distance A to C is 67, so AC equals 67. Label the diagram with the given information. Use the given information and the diagram and set up an equation to solve for X. Then find the distance AB and BC. Let's start by tracing in the colors. So it says trace AB in one color. So we have AB in one color. And it says trace BC in another color. Then it says bracket AC in a third color. You're going to use this information to set up a diagram. Our given information here is that A to C is 67. I want you to get in the habit of thinking about things before you think about numbers. Think about things before you think about numbers. So taking a look here, ignore all the numbers in the equation. Let's just look at the colors in the segments. We see that the distance of A to B, so we do that by writing just AB, that means the distance between, that's the blue, plus the distance B to C equals the whole distance A to C. Do you see how the colors are helpful? Using the things first equation, you go back and you do circle, plug, chug. Watch, you circle AB, plug it in, and you go from there.